Good day, viewers. Thank you for joining me on this program, your favorite program on ITV, The Current. It's a program that is very educative, informative, and gives you trends, explain trends, analyze trends, and gives you projection of what you should look out for in politics, business, and every other spheres of life in Nigeria. Today, particularly, we'll be discussing on the bill which is in the National Assembly. I'll give you a basic understanding of that bill that intends to remove autonomy from the CBN governor. I'll give you every perspective on that bill. But before I do that, my name is Frida Okiria. I'll come up with a program right now. A child who is into a child president, particularly. She's good and she has a career agenda of becoming a lawyer, and she has this message for you out there. If you're a child and you want to aspire, or you're aspiring to the highest height of life, you need to hear this little girl talk. Don't go away.
And I'm the child president of Children's Government Nigeria. Career Day is a day whereby people dress and act like what they want to be in future. Career Day reminds you about a career path. It means it's also possible for you to become what you wish to be in future. I like to be a lawyer. I like to be a lawyer because I like to put smiles on people's faces by advocating for their rights. By visiting law chambers, courts, and seeing my senior colleagues. I advise them to focus on their studies and work very hard to attain greater heights. It is important because it reminds and prepares children for what is ahead of them. I'm Eniola Popola, the child president of Children's Government Nigeria. Thank you.
Isn't that beautiful? A young lady who wants to be a lawyer, aspiring to be a lawyer, and she's giving you perspective on what to do to achieve your goals. That's the child president for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you so much, Eniola, and hope to have you live on this program one of these days. Like I said earlier, our topic of discussion is matters arising, bill to remove autonomy from CBN governor. Now, there's a bill that is in the National Assembly that has passed the second reading that is meant to amend the CBN Act, CAP, Cap C4, LFN 2004, a CBN Act of 2004, and the content of this bill includes to remove the CBN governor from the chairman of the CBN governing board. That means to separate the functions. The person who will be the CBN governor shouldn't be the chairman of the governing board. They suggested that past the previous CBN governor, or past CBN governor rather, or a very intelligent person that is good in banking sector could be. That's what the bill projected. And also the bill actually projected also that salaries of CBN staff should be fixed by the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Board, RMAFC. They said this bill says their salary should be fixed. That means the salary, if with other civil servants, should be the same according to this bill. Now, one of the things also is said it presents the state of the economy and what the monetary policy measures will be pursued by the CBN. Before the Senate, they will come. The CBN governor will appear to present the state of the economy and the policies, monetary policies, and the pursuit by CBN. And also, the approval of CBN budget by National Assembly. That means the CBN governor should come and defend. There should be defense of budget like every other agencies, I beg your pardon. And that bill was sponsored by Senator Samuel Anyao. Expert has argued that this bill will remove autonomy from CBN. International best practices has it that CBN, the central bank of any country, is independent, it's autonomous. It's not dependent on the federal government, it's not manipulated, it has to be run independently. And this is what has been operational in other countries apart from Nigeria. But Nigeria is starting up with this bill, and this bill will remove autonomy from the Central Bank of Nigeria. We are looking at these issues. The first person we'll be talking to as regards this issue is a well-known professor, Uche Waleke, who is the head of Department of Banking and Finance of the Nasarawa State University. He's going to be telling us what this will have, the side effect it will have on the economy. Don't go away. I'm coming to you with that interview right now.
similar bill, this time in the House of Reps, also seeking to amend some sections of the CBN Act that tend to reinforce the independence of the central bank. One of them is Section 6 of Section 2 of the CBN Act that separates the rules of the central bank governor. That unifies the role of the central bank governor with that of the chairman. So according to that section, the central bank governor is also the chairman of the board, because the board is composed of not only the governor as chairman, you also have 4 deputy governors, 5 directors, permanent secretary, minister of finance, and the accountant general. So that bill that was sent in 2012 in the House of Reps was not only seeking to separate the roles of the governor and the chairman, but also seeking to even remove the deputy governors from the board. So that, in my view, is eroding the independence of the central bank. And the recent bill now in the Senate, which has passed second reading, is also to that effect, again, to diminish the independence of the central bank by not only separating the roles of the governor and the chairman, it's also seeking to ensure that the budget of the central bank now goes to the National Assembly for approval. It's no more approved by the board of the central bank. It's also seeking to get the salaries and allowances of central bank staff, the governor down, to be determined by the Revenue Mobilization Fiscal Allocation Commission, as opposed to the current practice. And of course, it also says which I agree. That is this last aspect, that the central bank governor can or should appear before the National Assembly from time to time to talk about monetary policy in relation to the state of the economy. Now, if you look at the various clauses or provisions, the last part I mentioned is the one I support, because that will encourage accountability, asking the central bank governor to come and then before the National Assembly to say what the bank is doing in relation to the state of the economy. But in relation to the separation of the roles of the chairman and the central bank governor, that of the budget, central bank budget being taken to National Assembly for examination, I think those will erode the independence of the central bank. If you look at what the central bank does, the primary function of the central bank, or primary mandate of the central bank, even as stipulated in the Act, the current CBN Act, it is to maintain price stability. When we say price stability, will also include exchange rate stability. So the unique nature of the central bank function, okay, makes it different from every other corporation. Because one of the arguments is that when you separate the rules, okay, you introduce checks and balances, for example, okay, the oversight to be more effective, okay, and that's unifying the rules as we have in the central bank today is against the good principles of corporate governance. But as I said, as I try to argue, that is something that's applicable, to other establishments, but not for the central bank, where independence, autonomy is very critical. The central bank must achieve its mandate, and that autonomy, that independence, okay, is not only administrative, it's not only in operational independence, but also in financial independence. As a matter of fact, financial independence reinforces operational independence. So it's important that the central bank governor also chairs the board of directors for several reasons. Number one, let me start by noting that is in line with global best practice. Most developed countries in the world, okay, where you have democracies really functioning, most of them have granted independence to their central banks. Whether it is Canada, whether it is Germany, whether it is even the UK, whether it is the US, okay, Japan. These are countries where we have complete CBN, central bank independence. In Africa too, South Africa, Egypt, Zambia, Botswana, even Ghana, okay, have also granted their banks, Apex banks, complete independence. And it is not for nothing that they have done that, it is for good reason. as I said, when you give the central bank autonomy, you allow it, you empower the central bank to really pursue, these mandates. Now, if you bring in an outsider as the chairman of the board, remember the outsider is somebody that does not have the kind of superior knowledge that the CBN, that the central bank governor has. The central bank governor has superior knowledge of the workings of the financial system because he's an insider. He's involved in the day-to-day running of the bank. So he's in a better position to, influence policies that will be in the interest of the bank and in the interest of monetary policy. But when you bring in an outsider, okay, it doesn't make for this effective oversight because he lacks access to the facts about the financial system. So the governor is in a better position to superintend over the board. He will bring in his superior knowledge, to bear on decisions of the board. So that is one. The second thing to note that if you bring in an outsider, you subject the bank to a lot of political influences. You can be sure that the outsider that is going to be brought will be somebody that will be representing the government, somebody that will be affiliated to the ruling party. Okay, and if you have that kind of person on the board, you can be sure that the bank policies will be influenced, by political considerations, and which will be dangerous to the functioning of the central bank. And let me even also tell you some of the repercussions that this proposed amendment will have if it succeeds. The first thing to note is that what we know from studies, empirical studies, is that countries with independence of the central bank tend to have a very significant success rate in terms of implementing monetary policy. So there is, you notice, a direct relationship between countries with independence and lower, inflation rates. Okay, the few countries where central banks don't have independence tend to have very high inflation rates. Even in terms of economic growth is known to be associated with countries where the central banks have independence. The same too with smaller budget deficits. Okay, now that is what we know from empirical studies. And there was this study that was done in 2004 that was published as an IMF working paper. That revealed that out of 101 countries in the world, 74% of those countries have given their central banks complete, independence. Some of the countries where you don't have central bank independence are usually countries that are not fully democratic. Okay, so you find the central bank's autonomy being stifled, and that also impacts negatively on the economy. So there is the issue of inflation to tackle with. There's also the issue of financial system stability. Central bank needs to be independent, fully autonomous, for it to be in a position to, maintain financial system stability, which is one of its primary functions. Look at the case that we had in Nigeria, our experience in Nigeria. Recall that during I think it was when Lamido Sanusi was governor in 2009. Okay, there was a study carried out, a joint study by the central bank and NDIC on the health of the banks. And that study found that 10 of the banks were in serious crisis. Okay, and the CBN needed to do something speedy to be able to rescue the financial sector. So what did Lamido Sanusi do? He removed the chief executives and some executive directors of these banks. Okay, and then injected about 620 billion into those banks, and that was why we didn't have any systemic crisis in 2009. So that wouldn't have been possible if there was a chairman, that was different from the governor. Okay, so he took that prompt action because he was also the chairman of the board. So you need the governor to be the chairman to be able to respond quickly to threats, to to the financial system. Even during Soludo, I also recall that when Soludo came up with this consolidation exercise, there was also pressure on him to back down. Some chief executives of those banks that were going to be affected didn't want to lose their jobs, so they were lobbying that the process, didn't go through. But Soludo, because he was also the chairman of the board, stood his ground, and we also saw the success of the consolidation. So there are other examples one can cite here. What is important is that you need independence of the central bank to achieve financial system stability. There is also the fact that if you remove the independence of the central bank, you are going to send a wrong signal to the outside world. Because as I said, this is global practice. You make it more difficult for Nigeria to be integrated into the global financial system. Because the global practice is for central banks to have independence. So you are sending a wrong signal out there. And it's also going to affect our sovereign rating. Our sovereign rating. Once these rating agencies begin to rate us down below, Fitch, whether it's Fitch, whether it's Standard & Poor's, whether it is Moody, okay, they give us low rating. It will affect our chances of accessing funds from the international capital market. So we have to be very careful about this thing. And look at also this issue of the West African Monetary Zone, where Nigeria is seen as a role model. If Nigeria is pushing for...
That was Professor Uche Waleke. Thank you so much for joining me, Professor. He has been on most TV stations talking about the economy, analyzing the economy, and this is one of these things he does. And thank you for your contribution. It's very important to know that no democratic country can actually remove autonomy from CBN, or else there will be crisis in the country. Thank you for that. Because we are out of time, I'll only ask you can call my number for any sponsorship or adverts. For now, call that number on your screen. Start calling in now. There's someone to take your calls. Even after the program, you can call in. We also have the big story. The big person who's going to be analyzing is a politician. When politicians analyze an issue, that is from an economics analyst. Now we are going to a political analyst to do the analysis of this issue. I'm talking about Honorable Bala Kauje. He's going to be talking about this issue. And is it good? Let's look at it politically. Is it a good trend? Is the bill in the best interest of the country? That's number one thing. If it's not in the best, let's know what to do from here. Let's know whether we'll drop the bill. Though the bill has passed second reading and it's gone to the committee to analyze, but yet there's going to be a public hearing. We can always come in. Wherever you are in this country, you have access to the National Assembly. Come in for that public hearing and we'll start dissecting this issue. But without much waste of time, we'll go to that interview. Bala Kauje, thank you for joining me, and continue to watch this. This is Bala Kauje's interview. And I'm right here at the office of the two-time House of Rep members, as well as a former Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm talking about Mr. Bala Kauje. So you can see that right now there's a bill passed in the National Assembly that's passed the second reading, and this bill is stipulated to reduce the powers of the CBN governor, to make him just the CBN governor, not a governor and a chairman of governing board of the CBN, as well as to make CBN defend their budgets, just like every other agency in the National Assembly. Do you think this bill will contribute meaningfully to the economy of the country?
What the National Assembly is about to do in terms of amending the CBN laws, and of course to change a little bit the arrangement or the setting, for example, of the board of the CBN, is not something that is going to be bad to the economy. I know that from the information that I have regarding CBNs in other countries, I discovered that some countries have their boards chaired by the CBN government, And some countries have their boards chaired by expert bankers from outside. So therefore, I think if Nigeria, or rather the National Assembly, feels that it is good for our CBN board to be chaired by an expert and well-experienced banker from outside, in order to balance up, or rather to checkmate what is going on from inside, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. And I believe it might improve the services of the CBN in the long run, because some of us from outside, over time, we have seen CBN doing so many things that you begin to wonder whether it is another government within a government. So in other words, there is need to sort of checkmate the activities of CBN.
That was Honorable Bala Kauji. In his final words, which time did not permit us to go through that interview, was that anything that would take autonomy from the Central Bank of Nigeria should be removed. And that was his point on this. That's my number on your screen. You can keep calling in, or you can check on us, check on these stories. All these stories will be on our website, thecurrentnews.com.ng. thecurrentnews.com.ng, thecurrentnews.com.ng, and that's my phone number. Start calling in if you want to sponsor or participate in this program in one way or the other. You want to contribute to any particular issue. That if you really want to contribute and you don't have the time to contribute here, or probably we don't have the time, there's the currentnews.com.ng is a blog where you can chat. Whatever message you drop there will be used on this program. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm still your special host, Frida Okeria. Bye for now.